All right, welcome everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order for the July 18th fire panel meeting. Would you all please join me in the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, the first item on the agenda here is public comments on the agenda items. If anybody has any, would you please state your name and address?
David Collingwood.
Yes, Dave.
I just wanted to suggest, and this is probably going to get covered, but I just wanted to make sure that that we hear about from each department something about its membership, junior membership, what they're doing to increase, if they and can increase memberships, fundraisers, major fundraisers, and obviously their major needs.
Okay.
And I'm sure that's going to get covered. I just wanted to throw it out there rather than have to ask each fire department separately to hit those subjects. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Any announcements? Anybody have any announcements? Greg? No?
No announcements, no public comment.
Okay. The fire company introductions. For anyone that doesn't know, I would like to introduce the chiefs. Kurt Wagner's the chief for Sellersville. And I have Bob Wisniewski, the chief for Telford. And I have John Cressman, chief for Tumbarsville, and Scott Essler, the chief for Tylersport. Does anybody have any questions for any of those chiefs before I start by going company by company? If not, I will ask Mr. Kurt Wagner to give an update on Sellersville.
So I guess we'll start with from the flood. We're probably about 95% back together in the firehouse, waiting on a couple minor things to get put back together. All the trucks are in good shape. Pictured behind me is the new special service that we put in service for high water events, things like that. We have a rescue on order. Signed the contract last August with Pierce Manufacturing, and hopefully that'll be in sometime September, October range.
Any major fundraisers going on?
We just had our carnival last week. That's probably the big one. We'll have a sportsman's bingo coming up here in October. The ladies have a basket bingo or purse bingo coming up, and then a craft fair. But I think that's pretty much it for the year.
How's your membership, Kurt?
We're doing all right. Some days are worse than others, but all in all, we're doing pretty good.
Do you have any young members, junior members that are coming up through?
No junior members at the current time. We had 2, but they just turned 18 a couple months ago. It's really hard to get more junior members. I think we had a kid just pick up an application at Carnival. So hopefully that will work out, and maybe he'll bring some friends. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
David Collingwood, how did you make out with your carnival? Did you guys do all right? I'm not looking for a specific amount, but would you say you did all right? You had a good carnival?
Yeah, looking at numbers from 2019, we beat those numbers.
Good.
Obviously, we didn't have one in 2020 and 2021. We can't compare because that was like 2 years of carnivals in 1 week. So,
yeah, that was just this past weekend.
Yeah, last Tuesday through Saturday.
So you had your fireworks when? Saturday night? Was
Friday night.
Friday night? Okay. Yeah, thought I heard them. All right, thank you.
Mr. Shermer, do you have any questions for Kurt?
No questions, but I guess one quick comment from the Penridge Regional Division. We sometimes meet with some of the other fire departments. I believe Dublin and Silverdale mentioned that they've been going to Penn Ridge. Apparently you can get essentially if you're in high school, you can get out of gym class if you join as a junior firefighter. And they're looking at expanding that program because nobody wants to go to gym class. It's a lot easier if they spend some time learning about walking around with the equipment. So that's something that they're rather interested in.
And you said that was Dublin and Silverdale?
Yep, they had mentioned that there's a Penridge Coordinating Committee, which is most of the municipalities from the Penridge School District, but apparently the plan is statewide and should still be available. So that was, when I get good information on that from them, I'll bring that over.
Wonderful.
Sounds good.
Okay, next up, Telford is Bob Wisniewski. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Good.
Not much new to report over here in Telford. We did last month hold a drill with a couple neighboring mutual aid response departments over at the Meadows of the Lutheran home. That went well. They served a light lunch afterwards, stuff like this here. Minor restoration project we have going on at our firehouse, basically just redoing the office and our radio room. There again, just trying to get a contractor in was tough. I don't know if it wasn't a big enough job for him or what, but we had 4 try to come in and 2 didn't even want to put a quote in on it, and 1 said it would take over a year for them to come in. So the 4th one automatically got it. But other than that, I guess David talked about membership. Actually been a pretty good blessing here the last 2 months. I think we've taken in 4 new members, and we have 2 more applications for the next month. Juniors are tough. What Hal was talking about, Solderton sort of offers the same thing over here, Solderton School District. I know at the high school, we've set up a table at their career day for several years now and haven't gotten any response out of that. We have 1 young female junior who comes from the emergency services down at North Moncovo Tech. But I think she's doing it more as a requirement than as something that she's going to probably follow through once her commitment there is done. So the junior program is tough. Like I said, I think presently we have 2. We've had it posted. We've done it before in the past. A cadet program, which we were going to try to run the end of this month, beginning of next, which basically is a week-long process where each night they come out and do something fire-related. And then at the end, we actually hold like a little graduation ceremony. We invite their parents to come in and everything like that. It went over well for us in the past. This year, we only have 4 people signed up for it, so I'm not even sure if it's going to work out or not yet. Hopefully, we can get a couple more here in the next 2-3 weeks or whatever. But the juniors are tough as far as trying to get them in there and especially retain them. So, but again, we've had some good guys moving in our area and some guys with some credentials and stuff like this here. So manpower so far so good over here. Again, that's really what I have.
How about fundraisers? You doing okay with them?
Well, we're not doing a whole lot. We do a bag bingo that went over well last year. We'll do that again more towards the 4th quarter of this year. And I believe it's end of August, September, we do our street collection. And our letter donations that we obviously, where we do our mailers, that's basically, holding its own from year to year. And that's our biggest one. So we're kind of on track to be where we always are in that same ballpark.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good.
But as far as the overall, fundraisers for us, it's really back down. Telford Borough is selling the what we used to use for our breakfast and dinner, the Borough Hall. I think it's sold, at the end of this month. So we don't have that building anymore. So I know the other year we were looking at doing something with Tyler's Port, a joint fundraiser, breakfast, cornhole tournament. But I know the breakfast didn't go through because of different reasons. So, but we're doing okay. I think the biggest need, the biggest challenge, and probably not just for Telford, with everybody, it sounds like, is the Relief Association funds through the state. That's constantly dropping every year. And, you know, the relief funds that we take in obviously are for life safety equipment and stuff like this here. So it's critical. Now, I did report just at our last business meeting here that I know they're working on it with the state to try to get a change as far as how they divvy up the funds and stuff like this here to make it more constant. But that's where, you know, we hurt, is our Relief Association, and it's dwindling fast, and everything in there is going up quick. So nobody, I don't think anybody has a good answer for that one.
I don't know. I don't know if we can do anything regarding that.
I don't honestly either. Yeah.
Can I ask you, how's your equipment? Everything good with your equipment?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm waiting. I thought I'd have it back by now. We did a review with the state, ISO review, and like I said, I was hoping to have that back by now, but I haven't gotten it back. But we get the pumps tested every year, the ladder every other year, so everything's good.
Okay, good. Mr. Collingwood, do you have any questions for?
I was going to ask about equipment, but you stole my thunder. So thank you. I appreciate that, Bob.
Okay. Mr. Shermer, you have any questions?
No questions. The only thing is the comment that I guess we should make sure that when we have Septemberfest and all you guys bring the equipment out, that we make a couple more announcements that A, all the fire companies are out, B, to sort of pin the tail on the donkey, do you know which department covers your house? And make sure that we get a lot of people out there looking at trying to get new members for you.
Good point.
Yeah. Good point. Very good point, Hal. Yep. Okay. Moving forward there to Chumbarsville Fire Company. John Cressman, you here?
He's here. All you have to do is unmute the mic in the bottom center left hand. If you can't unmute, you can always call in too.
Can you? There you go, John. You there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm using my phone. It's kind
That's
of, yeah, I'm using my phone, so it's kind of hard.
That's okay. No, thank you, John.
It worked.
Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, for Trimbarsville, have no fundraisers going on right now. Our for equipment, I'm hoping to get my engine back by the end of the month. You know, for those who didn't know, we had a little minor accident back in October, and our engine's been out of service since then. But luckily, we're able to borrow one Point Pleasant, so we have their spare engine and guard back. Hoping to get that back within the next month. We placed an order, so we will be taking delivery of a new tanker hopefully within the next year and a half. I think the delivery time was 455 days from the time we ordered. And then we're going to be working on special service / cheese vehicle. Our big project is we have to do something with our firehouse because our firehouse really needs to be updated. We had an issue with our heating system this past winter, and so we're working on either rebuilding this firehouse or building a new firehouse. We're really getting close to having some final plans, but that's going to be a big expense. We got to figure out how we're going to finance that. That's our biggest project that's on the horizon. What else? That's about it for now.
Okay. You don't have your carnival anymore, do you, John?
No, we canceled our carnival about 8 years ago. We just could not get the members to come out and support it for the carnival stuff, and then the upkeep we just couldn't maintain it. So some days I wish we had it.
Don't
We
have
could use
them.
a little bit extra funds, but so.
Okay. Mr. Collingwood, do you have any questions for John?
Yeah, John, the fact you're gonna update your firehouse, if you would decide to tear down and rebuild, you have enough room there to make an even larger building? I mean, I would assume if you rebuild it, you'd make it larger, correct?
Yeah, we do have quite a bit of land here. Our biggest issue right now is pervious surfaces, because we're going to work with the borough because we don't have enough pervious surface for big buildings, but we're working through that area. But we do have enough property here to expand. Because all our old carnival grounds up at the back, we still own all that, so that's all ours.
So based on funding, are you leaning towards updating the current firehouse, or you think you would end up replacing it with a newer one, or that's too soon to make that decision?
Well, pretty much all the contractors and engineers we've update our firehouse currently to today's standards. It's probably more costly than knocking this one down and bringing a new one. So we're knocking it down and bringing it.
Mhm.
So that's what we're leaning to do right now. It's the funding's going to be a big issue.
Like, makes sense. I think Gilbertsville did that. They blew theirs up and started all over again. They have a huge firehouse out there now in Gilbertsville.
We went over. Yeah, we went over and talked to Gilbertsville, and we're actually talking to the engineer that did Gilbertsville's fire. So yeah, that's one of the ones we've looked at.
Thank you, John. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Al, do you have any questions for John?
No, pretty much. And David's all the fun of where you put it. I forgot the little fairgrounds behind, so.
Yeah.
It's hard to build a new one while you're
Yeah.
tearing down the old one, but I forgot how big the property actually is. So no other questions.
Okay, thanks. All right, next up on the agenda here, Scott from Power Sport. Hey, Scott, how you doing? You got to unmute yourself.
Bottom of the page, there's a little microphone, center left.
There it is.
There.
I was looking at the
Bingo.
picture. So we're doing all right. We're slowly picking up a member here or there. We've lost a member or two recently, just are moving out of the area, getting married and so forth. We have 2 junior members. One is in the similar program with Bob's down in North Monco. Pretty energetic kid. He does live in our area. His dad was a fireman, so hoping he sticks around. The other junior member we have is one of our senior members' sons, and he has been doing pretty well. So, we're doing okay in membership. Timing of the day, like anything else, depicts on what we can put on apparatus and so forth. But fundraising wise, we've just stuck mostly with bingo. We still do bingo every Tuesday night. We will be trying to do our hayride again this year, and so forth. We're doing a little bit with hall rentals and so forth, but we haven't really been advertising. Only what's come across our plate have we been pushing to do that, because manpower to flip tables just isn't available to make that worthwhile.
Understood.
So, as far as apparatus goes, everything's in good shape. Our engine came back from a multi-month refurbishment. We refurbed that rather than replacing it. We had some good value in the truck yet. So now that is back, we're going to start with our tanker and just do a little bit of updating, not so much refurb the truck, but just give us some updates and make sure it's serviced and so forth. And hopefully everything else holds together so we can maintain what we have.
Sounds good.
So.
Mr. Collingwood, do you have any questions for Scott?
I do. Scott, do you have any new equipment on the horizon or in your wish list?
At some point, once we're done with our tanker, we may look at replacing what we call a utility. It's kind of a small convenience truck that we have. It's
Like a field
technically-
truck?
Yeah, it has multi-purposes. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's really awesome at anything, but it serves a purpose and really fits our niche with the turnpike and so forth. So we had bought that truck used from Kutztown quite some time ago, and we're just looking at what value's left in it now compared to running it to the ground or getting rid of it now and purchasing a new one.
Do you have room for more equipment up there in that current facility?
Well, not any more apparatus. Anything new we would get now would replace something that we would get rid of.
Got it.
So we are looking possibility down the road of adding an addition to our pole barn out back that we would use for a little museum for our old Horn pumper. And then we would move some of our accessory equipment to the back, the field truck, the traffic unit will be back there and so forth. That would open up a little bit of room in the engine bay. One of the things that we're trying to upgrade at this point, we're looking into grants and so forth, seeing what's out there, or if we just have to make the purchase, is our compressed air system to fill our bottles. We're on a third person hand-me-down at the moment. It's making do for what we have, but should be replaced in the near future.
What is this museum word you used? That kind of piqued
If anybody doesn't know, we've had it for a little while now. We have a 1946 Horn pumper, which was the first new fire truck that Tylersport ever bought. It is all original, has the original paint and so forth, still pumps water, and we're getting it serviced. So rather than leaving it sit in a pole barn, unconditioned area or so forth, we have talked about just kind of making a single bay out of our new addition that would be finished and conditioned so the truck could remain in there with the garage door on the end so we could take it out and use it. So,
does the truck run?
Yep. Well, at the moment it doesn't. We're getting a new water pump. The seal on the shaft was bad. It's got a Waukesha motor in, so we were able to find down in Philly a brand new replacement in a box for a water pump. So we're in the process of putting that back together, and then we're going to have the brakes double checked and everything else should be good to go. But yeah, it does run, and we were driving up to about a year or so ago.
Sounds like an ideal thing to bring to the Septemberfest.
If we can get it done by then, we're working with as much volunteer help as we can to work on it. So
talk to Hal and Jay about that. That's their way. All right. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Mr. Sherman, you have any questions for Scott? Comment?
One follow-up question when we're getting into replacing equipment, which actually goes to all the chiefs, but not that long ago, Grandview Hospital announced that they had to be replacing some of their EMS radios. I'm just wondering, does that affect any of you guys, or are you all okay and up to spec with your current radio service? I know that the ambulance dispatch apparently had some components that were still 3G, and they were going offline as of November.
On the Montgomery County side, our radio system is current. We have new updated radios. They do handle both Bucks and Montgomery County.
Okay.
And they are probably within the 5-year window of being new. So, our end is pretty updated.
All right.
Sounds good. Okay, is there anything anybody wants to talk about openly? If so, please identify yourself and then we'll get into it.
Is this for the fire chiefs or is this for
Yeah,
the general
yeah.
public?
Fire chiefs. Absolutely.
Okay. I do have one thing. Again, Bob Wisniewski from Telford.
Yep.
Since the last time we met virtual last year, it was actually myself who was the one who had brought up about needing a township fire marshal. Since I know, Doug was appointed, I have no problems with Doug. I think he's more than qualified for the position. There's nothing along that. I want to get that right out there. However, I would like to understand, the township and the fire chiefs are always trying to see what we can do to better serve each other. And to me, unless I missed something, because even the original email for this meeting here came through my spam. I actually saw it when Kurt responded. So unless I missed something, but I did talk to Jerry Goretzky, our president. He attends a lot of your meetings up there. And I asked him if this was ever brought up at a business meeting, because I know I never personally heard of it as the fire chief of Telford. And I think that there's nothing that could possibly be more important than the relationship between the township, the fire departments, and the fire marshal. And I was just curious on how this process came about that Doug was appointed, what his role, his responsibilities are, when he wants to be notified, how he wants to be notified. I never even got his contact information. I received a call from an engineer, and he was looking for a possible variant. I wanted to speak to Doug about that because, you know, that's his responsibility, I believe. And I actually had to get his contact information through Kurt. I didn't even have the fire marshal's contact information. So, you know, I don't know if there was a lack of communication on my behalf or how this whole thing came about.
Greg, you have anything to?
Sure. This was brought up, and I don't know the dates of the meeting that it was brought up. I sent out several emails to all the fire chiefs to say, please send us any volunteers, any names. The only name that we got was Doug, who was qualified, and I put that up to the Board of Supervisors. I can get you that information when those emails were sent out.
Well, because I do know that Ray Fegley, who is Telford Borough Fire Marshal, he actually had put his name in and he was declined. And
I have to go back and then look at that.
Yeah, he was actually, you know, kind of confused about the whole thing as well. Like I said, again, there's very possible that I didn't see any of those communications that would put out there by email, because again, I mean, I for some reason, even this one came through spam. So I may have not have seen that, and I don't want to judge off of that, but I was just curious because, like I said, I think that's a little bit disappointing to me.
Right. Communication is important.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't even have his contact information.
I'll go back and find the emails and resend them to you.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything?
If he's stuck, I got his cell phone number, so.
I have it now.
Okay.
Seeing no other issues or comment?
I got something, Jay.
Go ahead, Kurt.
This is a touchy subject. I know the four chiefs all talked about this at one point. We're all down on staffing, and everything that you're buying nowadays, whether it's fire equipment or not, the price is going through the roof for everything. So it takes more time to do fundraisers. And on top of all that, we still need to do training to keep up on what we're doing to better serve the community. Is there any way the township could look into a fire tax to support the fire companies?
I'm not sure. Greg, can we?
You can raise taxes for fire. We currently have, we use it to pay them currently. We put some mills. If you want to raise it more mills, you're allowed to under the second class township code.
What's it at right now? Just curious.
I think it's at 2 mills, but hold on, I'll pull it up. You can continue talking and I'll find that.
Yeah, it's a common thing we all talked about today was, you know, we're looking for more members. Fundraisers are down from what we're trying to do. You know, we talked about it this week. It's like we had our guys out for 5 days of carnival, which really isn't just 5 days of carnival. It's multiple times we're getting together to set up for carnival.
Right.
And we'll be cleaning up for next month. So it really takes one of those big fundraisers takes a lot out of you.
Right.
So.
I think we
place the days to do the fundraiser than what it actually put on for.
Yeah, like we stopped doing a breakfast. I felt we had a really good breakfast. We had a lot of different food we put out. But at the end of the day, I think we were making like $1,200, and we're there from 5 a.m. until 2 o'clock in the afternoon cleaning up. And it's like, well, we had 25 people here to work it. That's not worth it.
right.
Under the new way that they formulate mills, it's 0.75 mills goes towards the fire company. The board raises that money, and that's what we use to pay per our contract. So it's 0.75 mills. You have 6.25 mills for the general fund, 0.75 mills, and then 0.25 mills for your equipment, for the township's equipment fund.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
There was a study that came out probably 2 years ago now, that SR6. And I know one of the big things that suggested was all the townships, all the municipalities, the one small thing they could do is raise the fire tax to the full 3 mils.
yeah, that would be a big jump for sure. Not saying that you guys don't need it. I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, we were lucky we got Sauersville to do it. And that's helped out big time. But
Well, we definitely will take it under advisement and consider, looking at what we can do, how we could go about doing that.
Yeah, any additional funding would be fantastic. So
Okay.
It's a question of, I think it's a question of how quickly you raise it. I think Silverdale just put in a jump of like 1.5 mils because they were really behind the 8 ball apparently. So hopefully you don't have to have any major jumps like that.
yeah, Sellersville went from nothing to 3 mil. I think at the end of the day, it costs like $20 for the homeowner. It was really not that much for what they would see on their end.
But also, Silverdale, you figure the tax base in Silverdale, if you do anything with $1 million, you get what, $100?
Probably.
Yeah.
yeah, that's how Gilbertsville's new firehouse, John referenced, they went to look at. They actually tore down their banquet hall in their old facility, and when they switched over to the fire tax, they actually do not even have a banquet facility anymore. So they don't do bingo or anything. As a major fundraiser, have a set point when they switched over to the new fire tax.
Hey, Scott, David Collingwood, quick question. You said you do bingo, but you're not running out the firehouse that much. You used to do auctions up there and weddings, didn't you? I mean, is it just not cost effective? You talked about getting people to move things around.
The auction is a lot of floor damage when they slide everything around and beat the building up for what we get the rental for.
Right.
We'll rent the hall out to a bingo setup so the guys don't have to come and flip the tables. So what was happening is we'd rent the hall out on a Friday night or Saturday. So you'd be there Friday night flipping tables, cleaning, putting it back together for Saturday night, going back in for Sunday again, and then you had to be ready for Tuesday for bingo again. So the manpower to flip tables, it was the same 4 guys showing up to flip the whole hall. Our Ladies Auxiliary has aged tremendously in a polite way.
Yeah. They ran the kitchen. Yeah.
Membership in Ladies Auxiliary doesn't really exist. So, we try not to micromanage them within a certain point, but they do not have the manpower to cater a wedding or do anything of that nature anymore either. So, and our bread and butter is in bingo. So that's what we've been focusing.
Tuesday night
bingo. So $1,000 jackpot. If there's enough people there, it'll push it to 1,500.
Yeah. Well, it's wonderful that's been so successful for you.
Yeah, we've been blessed. It's been a constant. Still tough to get manpower for it because it's every Tuesday night, but it's been a staple for us.
You need to see if you can get Telford Lutheran and Rock Hill Mennonite to bring their little shuttle buses up for you.
Yeah.
Bring them up. Silver hairs love it.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
I'm good. Are we gonna talk about our next meeting?
Yeah, we can.
I mean, when was the last meeting? It was
October. It's usually done in October.
Right.
So probably the next time would be October.
This year.
This year.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talked about was meeting more often, either twice a year or quarterly. We kind of got late in doing it this year, so it was July, and so the next time we always did it in October.
Yeah. Anybody have any objections to us scheduling something for October?
No, that'd be fine.
Would I don't know what October is, if the third Monday matches up with the third Wednesday.
So it'd be the 17th.
Does that work for?
Sold.
Yeah, it works for me.
That works. That works.
Yep. Work.
Should be good.
Good?
Good. We all can do it. We can pencil in for October 17th.
You shoot out an invite, Greg?
Yeah, I'll shoot out an invite.
You're the man.
I got to advertise. It's got to go into the paper. I got to advertise it.
Yes, you do. Okay, so we're going to look at the possibilities of how we could possibly come up with any kind of additional funding.
That would, and our end would be the main priority.
Right.
The fundraising struggle so hard with manpower that we have, and we continue to abuse our existing manpower, trying to raise money to support ourselves.
Yeah, one thing I didn't touch on, we're obviously we just opened our hall back up. We've had a couple things. We have the picnic grove out back, which is a lesson, but it's also a terrible thing because outdoor weddings and different things like that are really hot right now. So we have the whole year booked already for Papa Joe's Grove. And all next year's already booked, and they're starting to book for 2025.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, 23. Yeah, I think 23 and 24 are already booked, and it's just we have 5 committees set up. So, you know, each committee's on for a week, which Monday through Friday is really not too much. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the hot times, but we got to be down there to open up and set anything up for them and then close up at the end of the night. So,
Yeah, as every volunteer organization, it's usually the same few guys making it happen.
That's the truth.
I think we understand that. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, any old business other than the things that we discussed so far? Old business is manpower, of course, and fun, right? That's the
Yep.
two biggest issues for just about everybody. Any new business?
Yes.
Okay, John? Go ahead, John.
I'm good. I have no.
Okay. All right. Moving forward on the agenda here, public comment.
Jay, I got one. I was just going to ask one quick question. I don't know to present this to Doug or you guys. Is there any update on any new construction coming into the township that could impact the fire departments?
Good question.
Greg?
There's a lot of proposed development, and it's mainly in your area. We have the 2 warehouses. One's at Clymer and Meeting House.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is at Quarry and 152 behind PPNL.
Yeah.
And the North American Drager Field. The other is at Meeting House and 152, which would be a Wawa. There's a proposed Wawa.
Oh, okay.
The fourth one is proposed at Cat Hill next to Teva, right in between Teva and the 309 bypass.
Right. Yeah.
How's that development up by Hidden Meadows below the hospital?
It's approved, 72 units. I don't know how fast they will build them. They have to get approvals from outside agencies. They got the approval from the Board of Supervisors.
Just right.
However, I don't know how long it will take them to get the DEP, to get the approvals from Sellersville for the sewer and all those connections. I don't know when they'll start building, but they have approval from the township.
Do you guys ever consider it in the building process? I know there's different townships. We kind of work in a large variety. When it comes to the large development of having a emergency service impact fee that would go along with that permitting. In other words, there's some townships that will require donation to a different style truck if they're going to put a high rise in or anything of that nature. You know, how it affects EMS, police, or any of that. Is any of that ever attached in that process?
I don't think so. Greg, do we have anything?
We have never done that. No.
Okay. The only thing we have is, of course, the height restriction in the township. zoning wise, but
Right.
I don't think we have anything other than that.
Though we have a project coming up that might need a higher high lift if they put it in, but we'll see. The
Or don't you need a new ladder?
Cat Hill Road in 309, the giant.
Couple of years.
Yep. We also have the battery pack place on
Branch,
Branch.
that'd be a branch, right? Possible,
Well, that is not an approved, that is not a permitted use. The
Right.
township zoning officer has said that is not a permitted use. So they would have to go for a variance before they go through any development.
Identify, Greg, the project you're talking about.
There's the battery warehouse that's on Branch Road.
Yeah.
They came in with an application, a sketch plan. I'm the township zoning officer. I denied it, saying that it was not a utility, it was a warehouse. They have the right to appeal it to the zoning hearing board, which they have not as of yet. If they go to the zoning hearing board, the Board of Supervisors have the right to either support the application, stay neutral, or send the solicitor to deny the project. So currently, it has not moved forward in years, maybe 18 months.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, sorry, but the clarification is that, however, you now have a lot of neighbors in the area actually thinking about fire protection, going, oh, what happens? Who am I served by? So there's a little bit more interest now in that once that proposal came in, even if it doesn't take off. So people
Yeah.
are thinking about it. And I guess the last one is we have August 3rd is the zoning hearing for the refrigeration storage.
Yes, that's August 3rd. That's going to be held at Tyler's Port Fire Hall. If you need help flipping tables, I have some people that will help you flip the tables and set up so you won't have to. I just need daytime access and we'll set it up ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, the bingo setup that's there now is probably pretty close. You just need to add chairs. So probably
Okay.
not a big deal.
Okay.
We can get you in anytime.
All right. Any public comment? Do you have anybody from the public, Greg?
No, on our website, we said you could sign up. A lot of people signed up for what they thought was the 20th meeting. No, I sent out invites. Nobody showed up.
Okay.
But I did find the emails that were sent out about the fire marshal. I'll send them out. They were sent out the day after the last fire panel meeting in October. I'm suspecting that we talked about it at the fire panel meeting because the next day I sent them out.
Okay.
Then we didn't get any response. We got a response from John asking for provide a list of duties and responsibilities. I respond on October 19th, and then on December 10th, I send it out again because we did not get any volunteers before December 10th. But I'll send all that stuff out tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
second, David Collingwood.
Motion's been made and second. All those signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Thank you all for participating, and we appreciate it. And we will try and have some answers or some kind of information till the next time we meet.
All righty.
Chiefs.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You
Yep.
too.
See you, bye.